Yeah. Welcome back to the Death by Boost. What's up, everybody? Come on down and see the show.
We're going crazy over here.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Death by Boost. Today, on the Rail from Hell, if you have not seen the previous videos, go check them out. Come back and check this one out, because we're about to do some shit.
As we're saying,
we've got radiators we're gonna mount today. These are Honda radiators, so Honda with LS. You're gonna think you guys are crazy. It'll work, trust us. And then we're gonna finish up the front end. We got everything we need to make this thing steer, except for the steering wheel, but linkage, all that stuff, and mount this thing up with these awesome brackets. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
I'm trying to measure this front end here, so cause we're gonna cut the frame and we're gonna free this front end again. But now we need to make sure we put it back exactly where we have it, because we like where we have it. But we gotta make these tubes all new again.
All tubes. What tubes?
So we gotta make this tube and this tube, and cut that tube out, cut that tube out, all that to make this fit correctly.
That's a lot of tubes.
Yeah, we're gonna do some bending today.
Bending, cutting, and my favorite, welding.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a grinder, he's a welder.
Thought it was the other way around.
Oh, you're a grinder, I'm a welder?
We're both grinders.
Okay.
But, so like Craig was saying, we're trying to get this to where we have everything so trued up nice that we want to not lose it once we cut it free from each other.
Yep.
So we're trying to make sure we're mocking it up right, and then we can actually get it exactly how we want it to be, and then we're going to be able to
cut the front end.
Yeah, and what we're trying to get around to is like you would think like, oh, like kind of where we're at right now is fine, but not realistically, because with the bars up here.
Yep, the steering's gonna run right into here.
Yep.
So we gotta get rid of this pipe and we gotta redo everything.
So that's gotta shoot straight across, hit the other one. So let's get to it.
All right, so we got the front end off. There it is. So Cole's gonna start cutting some stuff. There's the front beam off the V-dub. And then Cole's gonna cut all this excess steel off here, and we're gonna redo. You know, this is really funny because we started off with a chassis. There is like nothing left of it. Just this little fraction of thing here.
This bar?
Yeah.
And yeah, you get it.
But me and Cole did the math on it, and it wasn't a total mistake.
No, of course it wasn't.
Because
like
a
we
brand
needed
new
the Volkswagen front end.
Yep.
CT wanted the Volkswagen front end.
Yep.
And then what was nice, yes, we a lot of this is ours, and that's the way we wanted it. That's the way CT wanted it. But it's always good to start with a reference.
Yep.
And have something in front of you, because it's obviously you can do it, right?
Yep.
Go, yeah, freaking cart, we got it, right?
It's harder.
It's harder. So we definitely got us rolling quicker.
Yep.
And the front end on this alone is about what we paid for the whole entire. So there was no loss, and we sold the Volkswagen motor. So
Yep. Got that money back to put back into this.
Yeah.
So
that question has been asked. That's why we're visiting this
Yep.
topic. It's been asked, why did you guys get a car to begin with if you did as much as you've done and you basically just built it? It's a good question, but realistically, for the reason why we just said so. But
so Cole's
let's
gonna
get
start
to cutting.
cut some stuff. You ever do something awkward, you know, not personally, but yeah, check this out. This is our little experiment. It should work out just fine. Let's get this bad boy on here.
So,
And then we can,
this is your bender.
this is my bender.
Have you ever done this?
No.
Is it gonna work?
Oh yeah. I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
All right. So again, what we're trying to do, we're gonna pitch these bars up so that we can get past the linkage like we talked about already. This is how we have to do it.
And make it natural looking.
Yeah, exactly. Make it flow as best we can.
Yeah.
But this is how we have to do it, right? So it's a little unorthodox, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you don't know until you try.
All right, here we go. That right there is close.
Look at that skill. You're using your foot
Yeah.
as a level,
Yeah.
and then you're using your hands over here. You're like a damn monkey. All right, so we're ready to hang the front axle back on. I'll show you what we did here. So we got these kicked up in the exact same position as it was mounted before, but obviously it was the top tube holding on, now it's the bottom tube, so it's in the same location. So we're gonna remount that, and then once it's mounted and we get everything trued up, because these are loose right now, so they're sleeved in, we can weld them, get everything perfect, and then we'll make this top bar so it comes up and over, and then back into the axle right there. And Cole's over here finished welding some stuff while I was doing some other things. So this thing's coming along. It's finally coming together.
Got me. I looked like a dork. Go ahead.
It's finally coming together. Hey,
I'm laughing.
hey Cole, is it coming together?
It's coming together.
It's finally coming together.
It looks good.
All right, so here's where we're at so far. Got the bottom tubes now attached to the bottom frame here and here.
So we sleeved them.
Yep, they're sleeved for structural because obviously a butt weld, you know, here and there isn't strong enough. So putting another piece of tubing inside and then sleeving it is double the strength in a sense.
Yep.
I mean, if not more.
Yeah,
That's the same
probably,
thing.
probably more so. I mean, it makes it the same bar. I
Yep.
mean, and we interwall sleeved it obviously. So if you think about it like that, did the two pieces coming together? I was did something wrong there, but yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
so we found out that we did not bend these up far enough on both sides.
They're a little bit reserved on
So
how
this
far
is
we took it.
this is something that we're gonna do here on the front. So
We're still gonna pick this bar up to kind of catch, so it isn't so drastic like this. This isn't going here, but we're gonna go back in like how Craig has it set up on this side, and we're gonna take and get this bar to pitch to match that, so it'll look smooth.
Yep. So more bending. All right, so we got this guy bent further now. Got him sleeved and ready to go. So this is how we're sleeving them. That fits in there perfect, and then plug weld it. So you got inner connection and an outer connection. And then this guy on there, obviously we got to trim her down to get it to fit correctly on there.
We'll have to cut it here,
Yeah.
notch it out, so we can.
So it's gonna look kind of like that. Looks kind of funky right now, but I think once it's all said and done, it's gonna look really good.
But what we're trying to do is working. If you have this here,
Yeah, we gotta clear the steering.
and now we're getting there. So
now-
just to remind everybody where we started out in the video.
Yep. This is why we're doing what we're doing.
There's our so-on-so connection.
Yep.
Now you're thinking that's maybe a little bit drastic, but if you remember, there's a chance that we're gonna figure out how to get this thing to actually sit on the ground. So we don't want it to sit on the ground and then hit that freaking steering rod.
Yep.
Or rack or whatever.
Or you hit a bump or something and it hits,
Yeah.
and you
100%.
screw up your steering as you're driving down the road.
Not a good combo.
Yeah, you know, going 60, 70, 80, 100, who knows. And steering gets wonky at that point. That's a little scary.
It's true.
So-
Quote of the video. Here we go. This is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. Name the video. It's actually kind of starting to look like a rail from hell.
So we got the front end all welded up. So check this out.
It looks like a freaking demon.
I know camera and in person are two different things, so I'm gonna try to do the best I can to kind of give it that same feel through the footage.
Yeah, exactly. I think once we get it outside today, you'll be able to see it better.
Yep.
We're gonna keep kind of doing that now that it's a roller.
Yeah, it's kind of weird having that bar come up like that, but it makes the front end just kind of like, you know, a dog showing his teeth, just like, ah,
Ah, dude.
ah.
You know what's really cool though, like we were just saying, like the rear end used to be the focal point of this, and I finally feel like we're at that point where the front end is starting to kind of catch up. Now, I know the motor and everything looks badass. It's cool because it's a transverse engine. Or it's a jeez, my Christmas. It's a
Mid-engine.
transaxle. Wow.
We've been huffing too many welding fumes today.
I was I was rolling up into the hood and I can't breathe. Anyway.
We got a fan, so it's mitigating that somewhat.
Somewhat. What I'm trying to say is, like, it being transaxle and mid-engine car, that's what everybody's been focusing on. That's what we've been focusing on too. But now the front end and the cab and everything are starting to catch up to the rear end, and they're evening themselves out. It's looking sick, man. Like, I know we keep saying that, but God, it is looking good.
All right.
It looks like a demon from hell.
Yeah. Rail from Hell, that's a good
Rail
name.
from hell. Yeah. So, you know, CT came up with that, right?
He did.
Yeah. And he just told us one day, I'll get my rail from hell, and I was like, huh. And then now it's like, huh.
That's the name.
You're kind of getting the rail from hell. Look at that. This is the rail from hell.
So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the tie rod ends to go from end to end. We're gonna connect the wheels finally together. Put the steering box. We're gonna go back with the steering box because CT changed his mind. He wants a 2-seater now. So that actually works out perfect. So it utilize the steering box, which is classic looking. You know, not a rack, because rack is newer.
It is true. It is true.
So steering box there, and then we'll get this all done.
And you know what? Like this, the Volkswagen front end is actually, it's looking like it's supposed to be with the car now.
Yeah.
Like before we had it on the front of it, and you're like, okay, like maybe it'll work, you know, we'll make it work, right? And then now it's, once we did what we had to do, it looks like it's supposed to have a Volkswagen front end. It's working.
Yeah.
It's badass.
It's a rat rod.
Yeah, it's a rat rod
with our
gone-
touch.
Rat rod gone exotic.
Yep, pretty much.
I like it.
All right, let's get that steering done. Oh, cool. Yeah, they good touch, but who's gonna be freaking full throttle on a turn like that? Oh yeah, we're good.
Hell.
Might put just a little bit of spacer there, and that's perfect. Man, this is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Finally, the steering is done.
Finally.
I mean, obviously we don't have a steering wheel yet, but
Yeah?
yeah, we're working out the bugs. There's
Gonna need to pitch that down, yeah.
yeah, I got to pitch it down a little bit to go underneath this guy. Hopefully, God,
It's got a lot of travel.
still might be a problem.
We'll have to go figure it out. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty, that'll be something we can get around.
Right. It might
So-
be able to go back on the top again, but then that leaves us another problem again. So we'll visit that when we need to.
Yeah.
Finally, it's cool. Now we can roll it around and not have to. We can roll it around with two of us.
Yeah, not
3.
two people up front and
Yeah.
one person on the back.
Yeah, fighting both tires.
We're pigeon toeing it out. It is looking sick. We're gonna roll it out into the sunlight and get an idea of what this is actually starting to look like.
Yep.
So we're gonna be kind of making that a common thing. So once we do something, we're going to roll it out and look at it at the very end of the video. So
Yeah. Because out in the sunlight,
it
it's so much
changes
better.
everything. So hold on.
All right, guys, got it out in the sun. Let's check this guy out. Steering's all done. We didn't get as far as we thought we were gonna get today. We were hoping to get the radiators done, but you know, sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to.
It's true.
Yeah.
But we got our front end exactly the way that we wanted it. It looks perfect, at least in my mind. I mean, like we were saying earlier, it gives a lot of character and it's tying it all together. So I'm stoked.
Yep. Then we decided to pull it next to my car just to kind of see what it's gonna look like. And so in the end, it's about the same exact length as my car, but the wheelbase on this is longer. But look at this. Look at the door rail on my car. It's even with it.
The roof is right there.
Yeah. And then you look at the back. It's at the bumper,
Yep.
so-called bumper. And then it's at the bumper.
Yep.
So it's exactly the same length as my car, just longer wheelbase.
Yeah.
Wheelbase on this is same wheelbase as that almost.
Without the overhang.
Yeah, without the overhang of the bumper. Yeah.
That's what threw us off a lot, is the fact that, like, oh no, your car's way shorter, and then pulled up next to each other and like, it's not. So what do you guys think? Comment down below what you think. I mean, is this quite what you thought we were going to be doing? I mean, we knew we were going to be having to do something different so that we could get everything to where we could lower it and then having a ride height adjustable.
Yep.
And this is what we had to do, and it ended up really, we ended up really being able to make a design feature to it and get function out of it.
And improve the steering of the
Yes.
Volkswagen. Because the Volkswagen steering, one tie rod would come off of here and go to there. Really weird angle. And then from here to here, which wouldn't have as steep of an angle, which is really weird. So we improved it so they're tied together. So you're not going to get any weird geometry there.
Right.
And then that one's going to be push-pulling from there. You know, I'll drop a link down below of the definition of the Arkman's angle and how it looks on paper so you guys can understand that. So this is a good thing to know, especially when you're building something.
Yeah.
So in the next video, we'll be doing the radiators. So please stay tuned to that. Hit that notification button, and that way you don't miss out.
Yeah. We'll do the radiators, the back bars.
Yep, and we'll finish off this bar. It's just temporarily in there supporting this because with the weight of the rear end pushing up on this, it's actually shoving that way. So they're both fighting against each other now.
Yep.
But this bar has to be in here, but it has to be removable in order to get this engine out because you can't pull it straight up here. It's gonna hit that, and then you can't pull it out the back. You can't. I mean, you could drop it out the bottom. Nope, can't drop it out the bottom.
Nope, because we have that
Yep.
crossbar.
So it has to come out through the top. So we have to have that bar removable.
Yep.
Or you'd have to separate the engine and trans, which is just stupid.
It's
But we're getting it off there, guys. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for the notifications. That way you guys get notified when our videos
Yep.
come up.
They're gonna be coming out a lot more often, as you can already tell. So it's just gonna keep rolling. So we don't want you guys to miss out on anything.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. And we're gonna do our best to keep them weekly. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.